Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome back to the OnReviewCast, as they say here on the YouTube. Welcome back, guys, to your OnReviewCast. I'm your host here, Ash, and today we're looking at something really cool. It's a season three, finally a season three of Squid Games on review. And yeah, guys, just like we always do, have our episode breakdown courtesy of fandom. And it says here, season 3, episode 1 of Squid Games is called Keys and Knives. Key and Knife. Keys and Knives or Key and Knives? Yeah, either way. Key and Knife is the first episode of the third season of the Netflix series Squid Game. It is the 17th episode of the series overall, and it aired on June 27th, 2025. It was written by Ha Won-dong-hyuk and directed by Ha Won-dong-hyuk. Synopsis: Neo Il infiltrates a dangerous operation with a risky plan. A new game is announced, hide and seek, where one group holds a key and the other a knife. Oh, what's gonna happen? Let's find out. Yeah. So bumping it on up to season 3, we are here, guys. We are here. Been waiting for this super duper uber long time. Super duper uber Kruber. I don't know. For a really long time, waiting for this episode of the Squid Games to come back. Now many of you were probably wondering, what happened to OnReviewCast? It's been a while. This is why we're waiting for season 3 to come out. Some more interesting, material for us to cover and come out and do and see what this fantastic series is all about. But yeah, guys, just like how we always do, let's get started here. Going through our episode walkthrough and seeing what I thought about this episode. So season 3 picks up right from season 2, and the end of season 2, that last episode, season 2 episode 7, where we had this revolution directed by Gion was taking place, and they were trying to take down the man. It's so funny because dude, I mean, like I discussed in the previous episode, I know you guys probably felt that I was feeling some type of way about it, and I was, because I'm still of the mind of what the fuck? This is a bad idea. This is a bad plan. This is poorly executed. Everything about this was incorrect, and it just wasn't good. It just, in my opinion, it just wasn't a great thing. And it gets brought up again as if they were just waited to see how this vote would have gone. They would have saved more X's and O's, and just because Gion had this hard on for getting revenge because he was put there against his will, and he needed to make those fuckers pay. His words, not mine. He goes and he gets a bunch of fucking people killed. Who probably could have won their freedom out of there by voting, out of the game, because the majority of which he took with him on this crusade were of the X variety, meaning that they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be a part of this Squid Game. They didn't want to play a part of the games anymore. They wanted to leave, but they decided to revolt in the first place instead, and it's fucked. And so we see where this picks off, where the number 11, the girl that's being I'm presuming that's her name's called Noel, because of the synopsis that we read earlier. Anyway, so this girl is trying to gain, like they said, infiltrate this place that's harvesting the organs, and she initially gets the main guy, one of the main guys that was trying to cut her in the episode before, the season before, because she wasn't playing ball. She basically is I feel like almost in a way she was kind of seducing him to get him to divulge all this information and show him where essentially show her where the bodies are kept, so to speak, where they do the organ harvesting. And then the scene immediately right after that, we see Gion. Well, we don't know it's Gion yet, but we see a black box pink bowed black box that they usually put the dead bodies in, brought back into where the players' sleeping quarters essentially are. And with players over the box, we do eventually find that it's Gion. Oh my god, Gion is alive from that spectacular crusade. He's back from the dead. Literally, we see like him coming back from the dead. It's like a back from the dead kind of thing, where it's like he was in this box, but he's being resurrected in a kind of a sense. That's why I kind of felt like when they were like coming in, it's like he figuratively died when we killed Jinbei, and we're getting a new version of Gion. I think that's actually so accurate. We're getting a whole new version of Gion, a whole new feel of what this character is now going to be, now that his best friend was basically shot in front of him, and the fact that his crusade of being released from these people didn't really go to plan. Next couple of scenes, we see the front man's brother, the detective, and the rest of this crew over here coming back, trying to come back to them, trying to figure out exactly what happened to the man that fell overboard, that got attacked by Mr. Park, aka the driver of this boat. And it's fucked because like we always knew this son of a bitch was sketchy, and one of the Mr. Chow, the guy who was playing rock paper scissors way back on the season 2, he tries to convince the rest of them that like, hey, like maybe we shouldn't turn around right now, but Mr. Park convinces them to turn around because they've lost the sight of their the navigator for the drone, and he's like, oh well, his body could be washed up anywhere. We really want to waste time looking for his body. And like he's kind of like, and everybody's, well, the detective kind of agrees with him. He's like, yeah, let's just get out of here. Again, him pulling some real shifty shit because he's with the actual bad guys, he's with the front man and all these other people. And so when Sung Young, we switch back to scenes, and Sung Young is back in this room where he is, where the sleeping quarters is, and he's getting caught up with everybody, and understanding that his little hero game, as they put it, just didn't work out. It was a failed mission, and it went left. It was a botched mission that got messed up, and now he's kind of just there, living with the shock of being living with the fact of living with the shock of being still a slave in this game, and still playing this game, even though he tried really hard and he took a gamble. Honestly, guys, like I said before, it's a really stupid gamble. He took a gamble and he fucking lost. It was not the right choice to be. All right, no, not the right choice to be. Right, not the right choice to do. Yeah, I feel, in my opinion, but he was blinded by rage. And yeah, so anyway, so the next couple of scenes is it's voting time to vote. Oh yeah, so it's voting time, and they are voting, and you would think that during this vote, after all this crazy shit has happened to them, though, even if you were, I guess at this point, it's kind of hard to it's kind of like hard to like. I was trying to think about it from the perspective of like, what if you were a person playing in that game? After seeing all of that stuff, I don't know. My options would still be Squid to get the fuck out of there, but like, I can see how certain individuals would kind of be like, oh well, you know what, maybe enough people to be taken out that like maybe I could still potentially win this thing. Because the first time they vote, they go from order of highest to least, and it's Song Gyeon with the last number 456, right? So Song Gyeon takes his handcuffs because he starts freaking out about the fact that how they should have killed him, and they killed his entire the rest of the crew, or the rest of the people in there, but they didn't kill him because of whatever reason. He was mad about that, and they had to handcuff him to a bed. So handcuffed to this bed, he essentially is asked if he would like to take a vote, and he He's in there in a daze. He's a broken man, realizing everything that he's lost, all the times of escaping or whatever. He's a destroyed man. And remember at the beginning of this whole season 2, the beginning of season 2, I was kind of like, he's fighting against greed. This is him. I think he's learned this is him learning this lesson. You know, he's sitting there in a daze, and he's just like, he's broken, defeated, this broken shell of a man. It's the look of a man that now understands how the world works. Do you know what I mean? It's a look of the man that understands how the world works. And he's like, the depression in his face is so fucking real. It truly is. And to the point where he can't interact, and he doesn't want to interact with anybody. And the announcer kind of has to push things along. He gives him 3 seconds to respond if he would like to take a vote this time. And he doesn't take the vote because he's so fucking broken. He's destroyed. That's exactly what it is. So they all vote again, and this time 110% because most of the axes got murked off, and Gion's plan of let's take down the man. He lost a lot of his ex's votes, and because he lost a lot of his ex's votes, the chances of him actually getting out of there was gone. So sad, and leaving him only a shell of a man. It's just like so sad. But his arrogance of not understanding how big this actual organization and this whole thing actually, how far this thing actually goes, thinking he can just do this either on his own or with a ragtag group of people to take back control is utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. Like, and if we could see this, I mean, I don't know. I know it's just a character is written this way, but like, I feel like I was gonna say, like, I feel like he should be smarter than this to know, but I don't think so, because even what might seem like it's common sense, it might seem very direct to myself. Probably, obviously, the audience watching probably doesn't seem that direct to that specific character. So, and that's just might be the way how they wrote it. So, I don't know, like, but I just think that, like, it's so sad because we've all been there where we thought we were for sure confident in this one thing was gonna happen or go down a certain way, and it just doesn't go the way that we thought it would go, you know, or the way that we wanted it to go. It's a very, very sad moment, but he kind of catches himself. A moment that I thought was funny was that when the shaman lady came up to him, and while he was in his daze, and she's just kind of like convincing that, like, you know, he stole more time from being dead when he's supposed to be dead, and all this other time, all other subjects. I think it just honestly gobbledy bullshit of, you know, essentially trying to psych him out and etc. And Gion's like, I'm not having any of that shit. He's like, I'm not having any of that shit. And he grabs her by the fucking neck and he's like, hey, fuck out of my face. And he's just trying to basically attack her. So it showed us, like, it's a little bit of Gion in there. Still a little bit of bark, a little bit of bite still in Gion's fucking feelings. So I mean, like, it goes to show you that, like, I mean, like, yeah, he might be broken by this, but he still has some close attachment to it. He's not over it, obviously. Anyway, so you flip back to the scene to where they're harvesting the organs, and the guy that we actually met at Disney World or some kind of theme park who has the young daughter that we know about that has the blood disease. We come out to him. He's on the table and he's there getting ready to harvest his organs. But and they're bringing in number 11, and this is one, actually, when I first saw this on first watch, this was kind of like, man, this was like the tension between this is like so intense, because it's like, obviously the triangle individual, the lady who is under the mask is trying to save him, right? The one who was trying to seduce the other guy, she's trying to save him and get him basically out of there. But they were so close to fucking doing this. Is like right when this motherfucker's like blade was about to touch his chest, so they could like basically open him up and see what's going on, and then they can essentially harvest his organs. She essentially steps in with the machine gun, stopping all of them, because like for like 5 seconds she was able to convince them, like, oh no, we're on the same side, all this other bullshit, blah blah blah. But then like, nah, she like wipes out the entire fucking unit, man. Like, and honestly, I can't blame her. Like, the only thing is, like, I think again when I watched it on first watch, I saw her hesitate. I was kind of like, dude, don't hesitate, because like in that situation, like you hesitate, they can get the upper hand and like you could die. I was like, no. The second I've gotten that gun on the other side of the room, I would have been like, no, just take them all out. Just take them all out. It's fine. Let's take them all out, because you're risking too much if you are waiting for so long to get in close or get in the right angle or attack in a certain specific way, or do you know what I mean? So instead of going through all of that, instead of waiting around for that, decides to go the other way. Anyway, so in the next couple of scenes, we see Deho struggling, the same guy who dropped the magazines that could have probably decided to toss or gone the other way of the war against these fuckers, as Gion puts it so politely. Deho is having a hard time. Right? Sorry about that, guys. I had to take a drink. Deho is having a really, really rough time with the fact that what he's done and how he left essentially those people behind. And he sees and understands that it's so funny. He sees and we see it too, that understands the awkward sense of tension that comes from between Gion and himself, because it's so fascinating how like things in a relationship change on a dime. They just like that, they snap, and it has changed now to where Deho is like no longer like hanging out with Song Gion, and he's like it's no longer the era or the phase of like buddy let's be best friends kind of like deal. But yeah, and during this time, the old lady from the mother and son couple comes over to Gion and is trying to convince him that like it's not as bad as it seems, and like, you know, she understands that he tried to come and save them, but it just didn't work. And they explain it to him fully in detail that he grasps the fact that this entire thing was Deho's fault. And I want to know, guys, what you think in the comments. Do you think that this is Deho? Do you think this is purely on Deho? I mean, like, all this, I think they share in that responsibility. If I'm being honest, they share in that responsibility, and I feel as though that Gion's shifting blame a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Gion is shifting blame a little bit because he's frustrated with himself, because he's frustrated with the fact that, you know, his plan didn't necessarily work out, and the fact that I think it hits home because of the fact that he could have gone a different way, and he could have chosen to stay or and participate in whatever it is, to get them to make a vote when time came to essentially escape that place. But yeah, it is what it is. But I want to know, guys, do you think that like I'm right in that making that assumption and saying like he's casting a lot of blame on the incorrect people? In my opinion, he's casting the wrong blame. He's casting the blame on other individuals who don't necessarily deserve it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and I think he should be directing that anger and that frustration or everything, all that stuff that's going on with him towards himself, because he couldn't make the correct decision, or he didn't make the correct decision, instead of just like actually waiting for his rescue team to come in, which they were gonna come in eventually and probably try to rescue him, or just basically continuing to play the game and continuing to see how essentially the vote would go, and trying to keep the Reds as safe as possible in that endeavor. But instead of try to keep the Reds as safe as possible, he actually puts them in danger by leading this coup or leading this revolution, and he gets murdered for it. So I mean, I think that's a selfish kind of venture too. He actually convinced these people that's obviously easily manipulated, to join him on this venture that he shouldn't have. His personal vendetta, if anything, towards this organization and to whatever is going on with this place. So I think he's casting he's just giving Daeho the dagger eyes, and he's just staring him down. He's like, you know what, like this is all because of you. This is your fault. And he's like, he has the wicked eyes, the wickedest hard on for Daeho right now. That's what it is. This game he also got, but yeah, moving on. This game he also got a new game. The announcement of a new game, an introduction of a new game. Like we talked about a little bit earlier as well. I found it kind of interesting, and I also find the set piece is so cool. In SquidGame, like they actually made the selection process for the hide and seek game a gumball thing. And when I was watching, I was like, I remember the last fucking time I saw like a gumball machine. Like, goddamn, like, and I remember being a kid, the gumball machines was always a thing, but at the same time, like as an adult now, it's kind of weird to me. Guys, let me know if I'm right in the comments. Like, isn't it kind of weird how we used to just like eat candy from this machine that we used to insert quarters from, and we don't know where this thing's been. We don't know what's in this really. Even if it is really candy, but there was no plastic wrapping around this candy. There was nothing. It was just a gumball. And I don't know. It's weird to me because, like, I guess, like, I think about sanitary reasons and, you know, X, Y, and Z. Anyway, so this game, after the gumball has the balls in it of colors of red and blue, and this is how they decide who's going to be on the red team, who's going to be on the blue team. And the red team essentially are the attackers. It's kind of like cybersecurity stuff, right? Red teams are the attackers, and the blue teams are the defense, are the ones who are designated to run out of the game or hide, while the seekers, the red team, comes after them. But there's a twist. Oh, the twist is essentially that once the red team members find, it's not enough to just find the blue team individuals, they have to murder them. They have to murder them. Yeah, and it's pretty fucked, in my opinion, honestly, because the blue team is actually just given a set of keys that with them to actually open and find the exit, as the announcer appropriately denotes it. And then these motherfuckers start piping up about how it's not fair because how are we going to kill them with our bare hands? And then that's when they introduced their gifts. The other opposing side, the blue team side, their gifts were the keys to actually get out of the room and escape the poverty that is well, Squid Game in general, I guess. But anyway, that's when they're given these badass knives, the red team, and this is where, you know, shit gets real, and they spring on them that, you know, you got to kill the individuals in order to survive. You got to kill at least one team member in order to survive this round or this game. And it's a wild concept because, like, in tag, hide and go seek, whatever it is, again, relating it back to your childhood, you know, I really thought it was like innocent stuff or whatever it is, but of course, this game, they got to put the innocence, they got to put a twist on it where the innocence this is thrown right out the fucking window, and it's no more innocenceness, and it's more like a murder, kill. The design for the knives are actually really, really cool in a kind of a weird way. It has this like wings on both sides, and then in the middle it kind of looks like in the middle top part of the middle hills, it kind of looks like a little house. It's weird. I think that's what they wanted to go for the design, but something I just honestly really just wanted to mention real quick. And so, of course, who was on the red team? You know, Gion, and some other people. And who's on the blue team? Daeho. But yeah, and during this game, we see more of. You see the shaman lady collecting more and more followers, of getting people to essentially believe in her bullshit. Honestly, her horse fuckery. Her horse fuckery. Getting convinced her in horse fuckery. But before that actually happens, though, the announcer says, like, all right, we'll give you, again, like, it's like an evil fucking size car salesman. All right, we'll give you 5 minutes to think about it. We'll give you some time to think about it. And also, if you want to change your role as being the attacked or the attacker, feel free to do so. And we see within this thing, some people do choose to change and switch, and realistically, though, it's overall a bad situation if you were a blue team or a red team. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think? Would you rather be on the blue team for this game or be on the red team for this game? I personally think that, oh boy, some dilemma questions. I would want to be on the blue team, I guess. Because there's some things in this, if you think about it, which I'm pretty sure, I don't know if the characters were necessarily thinking about this, but well, I guess they did. They do, because again, this is on review. We know what happens. So to a certain degree, they say that red cannot kill red, but red can kill blue. But that doesn't necessarily mean one, blue can't kill blue, and blue can't kill red. So I think I would want to be on the blue side. To do that. I don't think I could just murder someone and just like and then nothing like that in that kind of situation. And also, like, if you're really good in hiding, the set pieces for this place, you might just live. There's different ways to essentially hide. And I think, again, right, we have to see some examples of this later on in the season, and we're gonna talk about those maybe later on. But I think I would want to be on the blue team so I could avoid, having my soul tainted by committing murder. So in the before they start this game, there's a number of people that decide to switch their roles, like the announcer allows them to. And it's funny because knowing what you know, this is the fate. It decides a lot for a lot of people and a lot of things, who decided to switch and who essentially didn't decide to switch. But the whole basic fact, I think, and something too we're talking about, is the fact that a lot of them that did switch, some who they went from blue to red, so they have no problem killing another person or feeling any kind of way of another person. But we also know as the game goes on, the humanity and the willingness, the good people are getting more. We're losing more and more good people. More, especially in that whole revolution led by Sir Guion the Jackass. Sir Guion the Jackass, honestly. And we also see Deho trying to switch with from blue to eventually red, so he can't. So a red can't be attacked by red, and we know that Sing Gion is actually a red, and I think this is why he really wanted to do it. He wanted to avoid Sung Gion and his death stare, and his death stare and his attempted murder with his eyes, honestly. So I think he just, honestly, that's what that was all about, just avoiding Sung Gion until he walks right up to him during the process of giving them like 5 to 10 minutes to think about it, and he asks him like, what? Why are you staring at me like that? Like, what the fuck? And he starts blaming him and saying that, like, if you just let it go on and let them vote, we might have enough the votes to get out of here. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you like, what's wrong with you, or whatever it is? And I can just feel, sometimes when you can just sense what people want to say by just looking at them. All I sensed from him was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you for you fucking up, for you leaving us all behind. I'm gonna kill you. And it's so funny during this part too. The old man comes with the Gion, and he's like, because the old man has a blue one and Gion has a red vest, and the old man tries to like come up to him, and so she's like, hey, would you like this? And the Gion looks at him like this hard, cold blooded stare. He's like, I feel like he was saying, get the fuck away, get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. You get the fuck out of here. I feel like that's what he was saying. But yeah. So the round essentially starts up, and they all go in, and the Blues go first. So they all go in and find a place to hide. They have like 2 minutes to figure this out, and go ahead and find a place to hide. And sorry, the old lady and the transgender individual end up going together with the pregnant girl to make sure that they are sticking together and that they can hide, pretty well. Something I forgot to mention was the fact that like the pregnant girl switched with her crypto lover, the red vest, and he is now a killer, and she's the one that's running and hiding. Interesting thing. And there seems to be an alliance with Cronus's lackey, number 2, is not far behind at all with him, and looking like it's going to be like a team up between the both of them. So yeah. So moving on with the episode, the Reds, or the attackers, swarm in and move towards the area, the game area, so they can commit their murders, so they can move on to the next round. And then they show a shot of Gion getting up, and he's hearing things in his voices, and he's saying things, and he's on a rampage. And all I can hear in this moment is Deho, must go, gotta die. And then that's the end of the episode. That's basically it. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you made it all the way to the end, we're gonna jump into another series, another section of the show called Ash's Favorite Scenes. Ash's favorite scenes. Okay, Ash's favorite scenes. Ash's favorite scenes. Ash's favorite scenes. Ash's favorite scenes. Oh yeah, coming right back at you with Ash's favorite scenes. All right, let me stop fucking around here. All right, coming in at number 1 for the favorite scene in this is just very, very interesting to me. Not in any particular order. One of my favorite scenes, though, in this, I will admit to, has got to be the fact that I think it's that final round, that scene we just talked about, when he got up and he was thinking like, "Damn, like I'm gonna murder this motherfucker." That was great. Also, the other scene that I mentioned as well with Gion looking at the old man like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, you want to trade? You want me to switch? You want me to give up killing Deho? Are you fucking mine? This is all his fault." That was pretty interesting as well. But and the last and final scene of Ash's favorite scene is going to be it's I think it's the scene where the lady who was working undercover at the island grabs the gun inside of the medical facility. Well, not the medical facility, but the medical area where they're harvesting these organs. And she wipes out everybody. She like murks like all of them. And it's good. It's a good and interesting scene, because the only thing I didn't necessarily like was the fact that she hesitated, because I was kind of like, don't hesitate. Take them out. One full sweep. Just go. But yeah, it was pretty good. And jumping in right into the OnReviewCast, OnReview is going to give OnReview score. OnReview is going to give the Squid Game season 3 episode 1. It was definitely a powerful opener. On the powerful opening, we're going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But anyway, guys, yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. I really, really appreciate it if you make it here towards all the end. Don't forget to check out all my music, Ashley Anomaly and Anomaly Beats, if you like all kind of anime music, and as well as original custom music, some little bit of rock or rap stuff there. If you like all that stuff, go ahead and check it out. I mean, I'm just saying, it's a pretty good deal if you go ahead and check that out. Also, guys, yeah, take a look at and be on the lookout for some new channels that might be coming your way, inspired by various series and other animes and all these other things. But lastly, guys, don't forget, like I always say at the end of these, be safe, be kind, be you, and take care.